All right, welcome to episode 12 of Run the Block. Real quick, just going to address the elephant in the room. Obviously, some cycling has happened here, and that is due in part to schedule fluctuations, tedium with character, and fluctuations in real life people. Switching seats. So, real quick, we'll just introduce Tyler. Again, I don't know if anybody here or if everyone here has played with him before. Tyler, if you want to just quickly introduce yourself and introduce your character. People who are watching, though, probably don't need this, but we're just going to go ahead and go through it anyway. Go ahead, Tyler.
I'm awful with introductions, John.
Yeah, that's why I started right off the bat.
I'm Tyler. How you doing? I'm playing the Fox Man. He is, like John said, kind of a detective type. He's kind of just overall. He's just I don't know. He's just kind of weird character.
He's a bioexotic. For those who aren't familiar with bioexotics, they are people who kind of chrome themselves out and also biologically modify themselves to be more like animals. He's a med tech. He has his own clinic, and he also has hospital access with REO Meat Wagon. He is a big deal in the Dark Skies 2078 group because he's the only med tech with hospital access, which means he's the only person who can actually put chrome into people when it comes to the high level gear and shit. And he's the only people who can rip it out of people to be able to use the spoils of war. So he is being shifted to this game. Now, in the aftermath of last session, it was stated that Bart Jarvis is being taken by Kincaid to an off-the-books, not a, actual facility hospital, somewhere he can get medical care, but it won't be, on the record, because he assumes Bart doesn't want to be kind of soloed out. And also, he has some inquiries. Jarvis is taken to Red Tail's clinic because that is who Hungry would have nominated as the person to go to. He's always sending word the Fox Doctor's way. You arrive in your vehicle with Bart Jarvis in tow. You can have no one with you due to the way that it was stated you were leaving well before others, and they will effectively be partying in this moment or leaving and doing their own thing in this moment. So this next 20 or 30 so minutes is basically just going to be between me, Tyler, and Zach. And this is happening on the 29th of January the 28th of January in 2078.
Oh, this is before Hungry.
This is before Hungry and crew show up. So those of you are familiar with the Dark Skies 2078 story, Hungry arrived at Red Tail's clinic to effectively collect a dead body, or kind of discuss a dead body, Chino's brother, who was killed by another crew. But anyways, focusing up. So Red Tail, not busy today. Very simple, and then you get a text from Hungry. It says a law officer is going to come by, wants some off the books work. Just be mindful. And then that's what I believe you said in the notes. You were going to clean up.
Clean up real quick.
Right.
Cocaine goes in the drawer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Kincaid,
don't worry, I'll find it.
I'm going to just make sure, since you are a vice doctor, there are elements that are
detective.
But you're specific. Did I say doctor? Did I say doctor?
You said doctor.
Vice doctor.
It's going to be fucking Alien game all over
again. I explicitly didn't go to 4 years of medical school to not be called Dr. John.
Well, in the Alien
if they're allowed to be shitty about it, I can't.
In the Alien game on Tuesdays, everybody but one or two people is a doctor. So I keep calling those two people doctor, but this would just be the inverse of that. Everyone's a doctor because we only have one. The detective with vice. Detective with Vice, you arrive, but what I want to make sure we preface here is you are aware of Redtail. This would not be an unknown element to you. We've visited Redtail in game before. He gave speed heal to Squints, I believe.
Squints, I think, is the only one that's actually interacted with
or
Redtail.
Leo. It was one of the two young bucks got
One of the
wounded,
two of you were
required
sent
to
there
go to a
get
doctor. Yeah,
I think it was
fixed up. I think it was Squints.
pretty sure it was Squints. You talked to a
I don't
bunny.
recall it.
You talked to a bunny girl.
It wasn't like a well played out RP or anything. It was like, oh, this guy who is a fox.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was you.
Yeah, pretty sure you got beat the shit
I
out
can
of.
dodge bullets now. That's all I
No,
care
that,
about.
it was another fox. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know you guys.
And technically, right now, no, you can't, but that's fine because again, temporally, we are in the past. Focusing up, so Kincaid, you would know that you're going into a drug dealer / ripper doc, kind of off the books illegal contact, but you're not here for that. You're here for what you're here for. So you enter in with Bart. Bart is being supported mainly. Most of his weight is being supported by you as you come in. Redtail, when you and Cotton kind of receive them in the main room, you would see that. Again, this is, I think, Tyler, this would be the first time you've been introduced to these characters, right? So you're not familiar with them?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them.
Okay, go ahead and describe your character real quick for me, Zach.
Kincaid is a... Yeah, that helps. He's a grizzled cop. He's been around for some time. He's seen a lot of the worst of what the city has to offer. Built out, obviously has some kind of linear frame, some kind of cyberware within his body to make him more enduring to what the job entails. Somewhat well known as far as a detective in the city. Often wears his yellow duster and cap. Around 40 years of age, smoker. Just a real grizzled noir detective.
So this goes back to my question earlier, John. Would Redtail know him as a vice
So
detective?
I don't think you two have interacted in person, but I think
Zero.
Kincaid definitely has you on his radar because he's aware of your trafficking of drugs. But it's so minor. Like in NCPD, it's like you want to deal with the top dogs and then work your way down. You're selling 2K worth of synth coke. You're selling maybe a big bucket of glitter. When you got a come up, but you're not making it, you're not actually moving the shit. You're an independent dealer, so it's no big deal to him. But he would be aware of it, is what I was trying to make sure we stress. If he wants to use it as leverage, he's welcome to. So, Jarvis, the guy that's with him, you wouldn't know, but he is an NCPD officer. He's basically wearing this same outfit. His gun is not on him. I don't remember if he recovered that or not. But he is,
so.
in his current state, wearing that same outfit. All of the accoutrements of the outfit, the radio, all that shit has been stripped off it. Just the vest, just the gear. And it looks like he's been beaten the shit out of. He's kind of hobbling on one leg. He's got his nose broken. His teeth are probably misaligned or some are missing. It definitely looks like he's pretty fucked up. Definitely one eye, if not both, are swollen. And this is presumably who you have to take care of. Music's too action-packed for this scene. Yeah.
John, I thought
So-
it was Mitchell that set up the meet with Redtail.
I think you called in hungry to do it. Are you sure?
I'm awfully sure. I would have reached out to
Okay, then we'll
Mitchell.
rewind it back. You would not actually be for.
If you want to say
Oh, not Mitchell. Not Mitchell. Sorry. Delphi. Mitchell. Cameron Mitchell is your chief. What's her name? Oh man.
Murphy.
Murphy. That's it. So you reach out to Murphy. That's right. So then you would be, instead of being contacted by Hungry Redtail, you'd be contacted by a newer fixer who's not too far from your location. Her name is Delphi. She's more of an information broker than like Hungry or other fixers who like are street gatherers. Some fixers just traffic and info. Delphi is one of
Okay.
those.
Okay.
And she
Lowers
would
the
also,
lowers the trust a little bit.
but she would also give you the forewarning that they are cops. If you don't want to take the job, it's fine. And then she'd wire over 2K just to satisfy your cash.
If you'd rather it have been through Hungry, like
No,
Hungry
no.
overheard
No,
the situation
no,
or something.
I misremembered, and I want to make sure it's the way you wanted it. So yeah, I prefer
Totally fair.
that being the case.
All right, so you walk in, he's all beat up.
I'm practically dragging the guy.
Yeah, Red Tail's already. He's got his arm underneath his other shoulder. He's already all right. What's the damage?
And
Dr. Red Tail. I've never seen your like before, or never like spoken with your like before. I'm trying to be cool.
He's very business oriented.
but he is a talking, walking fog.
I'll respect that much.
He likes.
I'll admit I'm on my back foot on this situation, but I'm good. I'm ready to persevere.
John said, "I'm not the top dog in the drug world. I'm the top fox, though."
Fair.
Keep that to yourself.
If you take him into the back and start kind of working on him with the auto dock, all I need from you for that purpose is a paramedics or a first aid roll, your choice. As either one
Foxen, so you know, I am not being extraordinarily careful with this man. I all but toss him onto your table.
Yeah.
Take his knees.
Take his knees.
You are able to basically you figure out what's wrong with him. You start planning like on your data tablet like a course of treatment, and you realize that 2K is more than enough to pay for this. This is mostly just setting, skin grafting, kind of hydration and shit like that. It's going to be easy peasy.
Okay. Got a question. Did I notice that he's kind of handling him pretty rough? Like he doesn't seem to care about him all that much.
Make a human perception roll. I'll set the DV low because I'm assuming you're not trying to hide it, Kincaid.
Nope.
No.
Sorry, I will be on these popsicles for a while.
Yeah.
You're focused on
Wait,
the
I rolled a
task.
0.
You're focused on the task. What I will say that you do notice, and I'll go ahead and you had mentioned that you were going to be you were planning to do something in the instance where he starts treatment. So Kincaid, what are you doing while that's happening? Are you going back out to the front and waiting on the sofa, or are you staying in the back?
I'll sort of hang around and sort of hover and listen to what Red Tail. I'm assuming he's like sort of going over, the knee joint and the situation, and sort of like reciting to
dislocation, fracture here.
Sure, reciting to both Bart and Kincaid what the situation is and how his situation looks. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah. Also, his assistant would be in the back room. She would have closed up the front. She is also a bioexotic. She is a bunny girl.
Oh.
Don't look at her like that.
No, not my business, sir.
He's out of his element.
Sure I am.
I've got no
So,
idea what's going on.
You think I'll be able to patch him up, Doc?
Oh, easy.
How you like that, Bart? You're immune to irony. You'll walk again.
He laughs. Yeah, okay. Well, I assume you didn't drag me here to this 2-bit Ripper Doc to make sure I got the best treatment.
Manners, Bart. I'm gonna lean on his ankle.
He'll
You're
win.
gonna lean on his ankle. I'm grabbing his knee.
So he kind of like does the shock agony, and then after you kind of relinquish, he says, you didn't bring me here to get the best treatment. You brought me here so you could ask me questions while I'm getting fixed up, right?
By golly, you could keep that badge of yours. You are a detective. So, now that you're not buried under a trash heap dying, why don't you tell me what happened?
Sure. Yeah. I've been on the tail of this god guy for a while. Since before our little problem.
Kincaid pulls out a notepad.
Which I know you're still mad about, and that's fine. I understand. I'd get mad if my partner got shot too. This guy is a problem. He's a big problem. He's been uniting the scabs.
G, was it?
It goes by God. Pretentious, I know. But, you know, it's Night City. So,
Dime a dozen.
he's been causing a lot of problems for folks. Mainly because of what he's doing. He's unifying the scabs. Apparently they're all working under a person named Alpha, who you met.
Killed that bitch.
I really don't think that was the person we were looking for. However, I'm sure if I start looking it up, she'll probably go under that handle. Probably as far back as Time of the Red, for all I know. She looked a little older. These scavs are doing work, moving body parts to and fro in Night City. A lot of sewer access points in Corpo Center, downtown, the Glen. And unfortunately, due to how corporations kind of work, I don't have much access in those spaces. I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I can't remember the exact date, I was up in Watson. I was trying to get in close to the scabs to find out where this Alpha hung out. And almost had my whole plan botched by a group of fucking edge runners. But sure enough, these scabs definitely had a connection line to the man himself, God, whoever that motherfucker is. And they took the data, they took the information. I've had a couple of connections, a couple of soft pings, university, up in the industrial area, even one time in Biotechnica, flats to the south. It's been a hot mess of this guy just moving around or being everywhere at once. Might be why he chose the handle he did. So I got the information on Alpha. They were hiding out in Dustin. So I made my way in.
Alone?
Yeah, mostly. I hired a couple of edge runners. They were less than helpful. Anyway. Then they got me and dragged me to that gas station. I don't remember much of the trip. I remember a lot of the events down there. I think I probably was down there for about a day. Felt like eternity. And then you showed up. My guardian angel. My better angel.
That's me. Reach into his pocket, toss the chip he put in a evidence bag, sort of on the bed next to Bart. Would either of you know anything about this? You were chipped in with this when I found you.
I'd say
It's got the G marking on it.
I'd say we'd need a runner, but it looks like a doll chip.
And they just had you in a doll chip just to experience agony?
I don't know what they had me for. I just remember what I remember. I was conscious through most of it. Doll chips typically sync out your biologicals with somebody else, so I don't remember any. Of course, I guess I wouldn't. But I don't remember any downtime. I will say the weird thing is I didn't come into the place like this, and he kind of gestures towards his outfit, which Red Tail's probably like sawing off a portion of as he's kind of like just doing the work. I wasn't wearing this when I went into Dustin. I was trying to be as incognito as possible, and well, as much as I do like my outfit, I left it in the car.
So these people-
How much time would you say you lost then?
Can't say. I know that I arrived in Dustin on Monday. And it's
Thursday now?
Thursday. It's Thursday now.
Yeah. I remember most of it, but again, sometimes I was blacked out because I was getting slammed on.
My associate,
Redtail wants to make a joke.
my associate killed.
Like, go ahead, Zach.
My associate killed whoever it was watching over your cell under the gas station. Is that Alpha?
Was it
Appeared female. Couldn't really give
older-
you more than that.
yeah, dark skinned lady? Yeah, that's Alpha.
Well, if that's a real Alpha, she's real dead.
See,
Hope that lead wasn't going anywhere for you.
I know the problem is the way that most people describe Alpha, it's a guy, a Russian guy. However, in the NCPD databanks, there is a scav named Alpha. She's been running around since 2040s. Like, she's older than us. And I think that was her. I didn't get a good look at her as you were dragging me out, but
There wasn't much to look at by the time I dragged you out of there.
sure. Edge runners will be like that. Present company, no insult intended. So, assuming you edge run, he kind of says it just.
So what did you learn in your time there? Who did you meet with?
Yeah. So I know that the tar fields underneath the university are being soiled, or I don't know agricultural terms, but they're growing the stuff with soil that's made from people. I believe
I got a good look at their fertilizer setup.
I
I don't recommend it.
I believe that the mayor has hired private investigation firms to overlook the university underbelly, the sewers underneath, and the old city underneath downtown and the university. Apparently, some undersecretary, I can't remember her name. It's so fucking long, the name. But she was the one who found it out with another group of fucking edge runners. Goddamn punks. It's not like it used to be, man.
Oh yeah. Sounds awful like it's what it used to be.
Well,
Sorry to
Red
interrupt.
tape gets in the way.
Just for clarification, did we ever find out what they were growing with the dead body fertilizer?
that's a totally different you, so we'll just,
Yeah, you're not even yourself
even
anymore.
Who are you?
not
Fair
even here.
enough.
Okay, any other questions for Bart?
What was the significance of the gas station?
Don't know. It that cell, it reminded me of an old wild goose chase I ran on a long time ago. I'll have to get more details on it if you want. Once I get back to my desk, I'll send it over right away. But is this place is bug free, right? He says to Redtail.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No recordings are happening right now.
Yeah,
At my eyes, they're still off.
Not so sad. I'm pretty sure Sin's captain is in league with this god guy. That ship I sent you, that information I sent you, that was pulled from your investigations. I didn't pull it, but it was pulled by my department.
It's the same captain of yours that bugged my car?
Yeah,
Or were you privy to that?
I was aware of it, but
Hmm.
I didn't know how to tell you out in the open. And texting and calling you is probably not going to be something I'm going to be able to do very often anymore.
Reasonable guess. How'd you get made? How'd they find out who you were?
Probably one of the fucking edge runners. They had us on set to meet with one of their guys, one of their doctors. We were posing as if we were in, uh, you know, the business of buying some parts, looking for some chrome to sell.
With the scavs or with
Oh, you talking about how I got made by
far
the
away?
scabs, or how I got made by? Oh no, we were with the scabs. With the scabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they took, what was his name? Felix. They took Felix aside, and he kind of disappeared from sight. I noticed it.
Why does Felix sound familiar?
Shouldn't.
Okay.
I don't know what they were doing with him on the side, or why he was taken aside. But the next thing I know, they come back in, and they start talking to me like completely different. It's like somebody else was talking through them. In that conversation, the individual tells me that they're God and that this person's a doll, and that Felix is dead. And they know who I am. So apparently I walked in there and they already had an idea of it, or Felix tipped them off to it, or I don't know. The other two edge runners I was with disappeared. That's when I was shuffled off to the gas station. But that bunker, I'm telling you, it's reminded me. It's something. There's something there. I just got to get to my notes.
Think real hard, Bart. I need leads. I've had a rough day. I've been shot and beaten, and I saved your life.
It had something.
Not my happiest day.
It had something to do with trafficking, Gus. It had something to do with trafficking.
All right.
Like they were storing.
You have any
people
contact for Murphy?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give it to me, if she's okay with it.
Tell you what. Doctor. Care to make a little money on the side? You strike me as the type. Would you like to be an information liaison between the two of us?
I mean, I can. If you want.
He's talking to me, John.
Oh, is he
Yes.
talking to you?
I'm talking to Dr. Redtail.
Said
If he'd
Thanks
like
for
to be a
talking to me.
go-between.
I'll
Hey,
be a
doctor,
go-between.
would you like to be an
Money?
information liaison?
Free
I
money?
thought I was
Hell
a doctor. I thought I was a doctor.
You
You're a
keep
doctor.
doing this.
You ain't a doctor right now, John.
Yeah, I can do that. Redtail's gonna
Keep in
reach
touch with each of
over.
us. You'll be the
So-
go-between for information if you don't mind.
He's gonna pass this hollow information to both of you, I guess. But
I'll flick him 250.
I'm gonna, since I've got you and I can keep a air of honesty here. I didn't shoot Murphy for no reason.
well, I would hope not.
You want to have that conversation here?
Looks at Redtail. Might leave us alone for a second, or
Come on, Cotton.
you just step out.
Let the lovers have their spat.
The name of the episode is Lovers Quarrel. For different reasons. He would say, you didn't look over that data, did you? You already passed it off to her?
I didn't find any patterns.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, and again, pretty sure it's wrong, and it might have been put in my information by my captain, or maybe G, or maybe some other party. But according to everything that I've got, or had at that time, she was on the take. I set up the meet with you and her, expecting to get more out of her. And then we just drew, you know? It all happened so quick. I'm sorry about it. But I wouldn't have shot her if I didn't think she was with G. Been chasing this ghost for a while.
Get me what information you have as soon as possible.
Got it.
I have a lead for you to look into that I might be a little too close to. I don't want to draw too much attention.
I suggest keeping your nose down to the ground for a little while. I'm sure the dust up over Dustin's probably going to flare up, so might save you.
Without question. That's why you and I didn't stick around. Cops aren't invited to parties for a reason.
I'm just saying, keep your nose to the old desk there and see what we can't figure out just on the sly. You got your desk back, so yeah.
Ain't I lucky?
I know I didn't make it easy, but I was instructed to do just that.
Get on your feet, reach out to me through Redtail there as soon as you can.
Redtail, you'll fix him up. If you have no other questions for him, we're going to go ahead and move into the next segment just to make sure we understand temporally what's happening. Kincaid, for 2 weeks, you obviously have an itinerary. Going back to the office, you're working. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to gauge through that 2 weeks, or are you just basically waiting for more intel to fall in and kind of gather that, or is there anything that you want to specifically suss out?
Ear to the ground on the Dustin situation. I'm not expecting anything satisfying to come my way,
For sure.
news-wise. And without getting close to the situation, I want to keep sort of a tab on, I've forgotten his name, the doctor that was in the downtown area that Eric Adrian pointed me out to.
Deepak.
Deepak Murphy. Yeah.
And then, good. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you the drop here. So according to Bart Jarvis, there was a bit of minor activity in the Dustin area, specifically at Trailer Park. That was about south of where that gas station is. According to them, there was a guy living up there, and anybody who kind of straggled up that way, be it kids, whatever, he had an automated turret that would kill them outright. So Sin was sent out that way, and by the time they got out there, because again, the work log, all they found was the corpse of a guy named Valentin Krylov. And I'll type that in the chat. Krylov.
This is the name of the guy who was living there?
Yeah. And they found his body there. There was semblance that someone took his phone and his memory shard. However, his access point was present but hacked. And then inside of that space, that underground space, there was also a netrunner's chair. So they were doing some illicit activity with the net at that location. And
this was at the gas station.
Yeah. And
okay, I just want to make sure that explicitly was the location of this.
The secret base underneath the gas station. That's specifically where he's saying it according to what he remembers and also the data he's sending you, it was a lot different down there than it is now. Like they repurposed it for their prison.
Okay.
And from what he says, a fixer named Mikhail Akulov was the one that was hiring these netrunners to basically spy on Arasaka from that location. The file's name that he has on the thing when it comes over would be noted as Comrade Red. And those are all of the notable words and things that I said are posted there.
Comrade Red's not familiar to me at all.
No, it wouldn't be. It's a sin file, so it's like a crime file for them.
I might
I'm
press
not a
you on that
communist.
information later.
All right. So moving on, Leo. We had kind of made an assumption that what you'd be doing during the next 2 weeks would be being with Asta and kind of locking in with her being alive and with you, as one is wont to do in a relationship that's kind of sadly been separated for a time. Would be want to do. Is there anything in particular though, like other than that you'd want to kind of? Obviously, I'm not going to role play that with you.
I mean,
Why not?
I failed the roll.
She leaves you.
Yeah, I do have a couple things. I want to actually go to Misty's.
Okay. Esoterica, yeah.
Yeah, and show her the file that G left me, with the tarot cards in it.
Okay. I am looking for my notes on that. Do you have your notes on that? And you can just drop them in the text so we don't.
I mean, I can drop it real quick.
You can just
it's very brief. But...
Yeah, ask your questions and I'll just answer them.
Yeah, hey, I was just wondering if you could tell me about these tarot cards.
Oh,
in particular.
Sure. Yeah, that's not a problem. In where did these come up? And do you know what order they were drawn?
And I'll show Misty, and it's High Arcana Death, the Emperor, the High Priestess, Justice, and the Tower.
All right. So she would say, well, these are all part of the major arcana, as I assume you understand. The cards don't really mean exactly what you expect them to mean. So, for example, the death card doesn't mean that something's dying. It's just more a reference or an allusion to something's mortality, or sometimes it's a allusion to the void, the nothingness that happens when people die or when people leave your life. The Emperor, she would say, it deals with protection and support. Again, I don't know what order these were drawn in, so it could have allusions to the first card. It could mean something like a person who's protecting you or that supports you goes missing, dies. Or it could mean that you, as someone who is doing that for someone, you disappear from their life. The Tower. Going to my notes.
I believe High Priestess was drawn next.
Oh. Well, the High Priestess, it deals with femininity, and the power of that. It could mean that somebody, if these were drawn in that order, I would assume that it means that one of these two people who was either being protected or needed to be protected was a woman of great power, someone who has a very high knowledge base or skill level. What was the next card?
Justice.
And you're sure they were drawn in this order?
I mean, I'll pull up the file, and I'm pretty sure that was the order that they were in.
Strength, justice, a righting of a wrong, perhaps because of the strength of the High Priestess drawn in it, or perhaps due in part to the Emperor that was selected here, the supporter, the protector. What was the next card?
And then the last one would be the Tower.
The Tower. It deals, in olden times, it was more related to the House of God and had to do with kind of a religious air. But in modernity and more kind of chrome mentality, esoterica, it deals with misery or a prison. Not so much a physical prison, although it could be that, but it has to deal with a prison of the mind, a self-inflicted loneliness. In an older text, it was known as the Beheaded Tower or the Lightning Struck Tower. And it could mean that since this is the impetus card, the last card of the flop, it could mean that this is something that's going to happen or something that is going to be done away with because of what's happened in these last 4 draws or last 5 draws. It's not very typical that a 5-card draw is done or a 6-card draw is done. It's usually 4 cards for a simple reading, and again, the facing of the card, the direction that the card is in the flip, a lot of this matters. And unfortunately, with just this digital, it doesn't look like these are just image files of the card faces, so it doesn't look like the individual who assembled this draw, so to speak, was mindful of that particular. Would you like to have your reading?
No, not today. I do appreciate it, though.
Well,
And,
go ahead.
I was going to say, slide over 50 eddies.
Before you kind of start, like, putting down the 50, she obviously starts trying to sell you on objects around the store. But if you just give her 50 and run away, 50 being cheap as fuck, you goddamn cheapskate.
I didn't ask for it. I just want to know what these meant.
Yeah. All right. You give her 50 and you leave.
If she looks at me weird, I'll slide over.
No, she takes the 50 happily, but she probably would have been fine without you paying at all. But yeah, it seems like the shop definitely doesn't get a lot of love. You do note that there is a Ripper Dock underneath, though, based on signage.
Yeah,
okay. Go ahead.
Let's say if you wanted to do the other stuff, I wouldn't mind trying to do the shit for Zigzag, but
yeah, all I need is an
Let's do that
interface roll
first.
from you, and that'll just really determine what happens with the next beat on that story or not. Okay,
Well-
you can spend luck afterwards if you want, because you do have a rocker in the group. Keep in mind, you will not be able to regain your luck until the next quest, so to speak, is over.
I'll spend 1.
Okay, it's not terribly great. It's pretty good, but you would get a call about midway through the second week of your downtime, and Zigzag would ask you to go ahead and bring that back to him. And I will note that when you go to where he designates, it is a place in Japantown. And it's a very large building. It is located here. Snapping in. And basically, the area that this is in, that tower kind of rises up over most other things. It's not the tallest building over there by any stretch, but it's pretty close. And it goes through sub-levels of Japantown. So there's like a courtyard on like one level, and then there's an underground like market area. Jig Jig Street is actually technically terminates near where that's located, and there's like a very large like market stall, and then there's like a park. Just all sorts of shit underground, built in like tiers. On the ground level, or what you would presume is ground level, there's a street that runs from west to east, and when it passes by this building, the building goes from just being static gray stone to this brilliant black, jet black, shiny, almost mirror polished black stone, and there are 3 doors with bright red lights shining out of it. When you come up to this place at the designated time, there's a guy in the most pristine Militech armor you've ever seen. You've met Salt before, and he would put his hand out to accept the object in question, and that would be the transaction. You would have already been paid for the business in mind, and if you ask anybody Salt, if you ask Salt, he doesn't answer you. If you ask Zigzag if you failed or something, he doesn't respond.
Nope, I'll just hand it off and head out.
Yep. That's that. Okay. Chody, does Squints have any business for the 2 weeks? Any thoughts that you've had on like inventions or anything cool?
He was going to invent that shield that we talked about, the wrist shield that comes up for one shot and will help block stuff. And also, he's getting the reflex thing put in to where he can dodge bullets and just healing up.
Yep.
Yep.
Doesn't take terribly long to heal up from that. It's just basically an install on your neural port. So for the invention, go ahead and give me a maker roll. This will be for Cybertech.
Maker roll. And I need to change it to Cybertech. 24.
24, okay. So it is effectively going to be a pop-up shield, but the pop-up shield in question will automatically deploy if you are targeted and you are aware that you're being targeted. So the cost of it will be very expensive because it will function identically to a pop-up shield. It will require a cyber arm or limb because there's no way you'd be able to install a shield otherwise. And the device would be too massive to kind of just set on your person. And it will, like a pop-up shield, require 3 option slots. So it is identical to a pop-up shield, except that it'll have a response effect. Instead of deploying it as an action, it can be deployed in response to being the target of an attack. So 500 EB is the price, or 1,000 EB is the price of the item, so very expensive. Very expensive. So you'll have to play off of that for your costs and your time.
That's fun. Yeah.
Anything else? Go ahead.
And could I have that put in the same as reflex since I have to put a new arm in?
Yeah, if you're putting, you just got a new arm, so yeah, you can put that in your arm for sure.
Okay. Cool. And you said 1,000?
To invent it, it counts as a very expensive item. So follow the rules for invention and then follow the rules for fabrication.
Okay. All right.
Other
than that, that's all I got, man. I don't really have any big story beats right now or anything, so
yeah, totally
just
cool.
making cool stuff.
So
I would let everyone know, or at least let the party know that since we do have downtime, and if anybody's getting stuff, that if they want me to try to maybe take a look at it, I can gain tech stat maximum 10. No, wait, not that. I have.
You can lower the humanity loss for it being installed into a person. Also, if they get weapons, you can upgrade them to better quality.
And I can do it where they don't break, or they get, what was it? I got the humanity loss, extended warranty perk, cyber you've worked on and have installed that is later broken and or removed can be repaired without any additional costs by you or the refunded at cost. Okay, so just trying to let everybody know what I can do to help. Just trying to be buff stick.
I don't think anybody else is putting gear in, to my knowledge.
Where would I find the pop-up shield at? I don't.
Pop-up shield's in the core rulebook. It's also in the compendium.
Okay,
Pop-up's one word.
Okay.
Yeah. So Grip, you obviously don't stop working, but Hungry becomes a lot more aloof during this period. In that he will be doing more gigs for newer people. He's trying to kind of spread his net. And you're familiar with this. You didn't work for him for a while because he was doing a lot of odd jobs with random people. And you kind of like your jobs a bit more consistent. And you think that when you start working for a fixer up in Westbrook by the name of Papillo, that you will get such work. He's got pretty easy gigs for you. Most of it is bodyguard work for the 2 weeks. And also, he has one gig where you and a group of other edge runners are effectively breaking into a mansion up on the North Oak side of Westbrook, and returning to him a very important item. The mansion that you break into for him is known as Haggis Head Manor, and the item that he wants taken from Haggis Head Manor is a guitar. Do you have any other questions about the gig?
Nope.
On that gig in particular, you are joined by Jonah's new character. And you will also see him on other gigs for Papillo. First, introducing Papillo. He is a very sleek looking fixer type. He's always wearing just a perfectly pristine like blazer jacket. You don't think he has ever worn a shirt. He just always has his chest hair and his tattoo out in the open. From what you can tell, it's like a moth and a moon and an ankh or some shit. He has a cyber hand on his left arm. It is not a full chromed arm. It is just the hand. And he wears a lot of jewelry. Gold chains, rings. His sunglasses are like, high tech, very expensive, very nouveau riche kind of fancy shit. He's always got his hair like perfectly coiffed. And he is not quite a douchebag. The best way I can kind of explain him is he is very he kind of has like a broy a broy charisma. Does that make sense? You'll get to know him in a bit. Now for slideshow, you can have some back and forth between you two here. But Jonah, go ahead and describe your character to us, please.
I'm Jonah. I'm playing Slideshow. He's kind of wearing some real gaudy stuff, kind of to show off like how much money he's either made or has. And he does have 2 pistols. And then if you look at his face, you can see there's just a bunch of fucking chrome all throughout it. And he wears kind of like light armor and whatnot. And he kind of walks with like this swagger, like he could be better places and whatnot. But he's here for now.
Alright.
Yeah.
And he's a relatively reliable gunslinger type. He definitely focuses on the pistol slinging, which you come to know and kind of expect from him. You don't run into any problems other than a couple of security robots at Haggis Head Manor, and you steal the guitar for Papillo, no problem. It has kind of a red finish, kind of white trim. It looks like the strings are made out of gold. It's very, very like heavily used. And then it looks like somebody took a knife to the face and dug into it and drew out the name Mickey onto the guitar. But you theft that, clep that, and take it back to Papillo. And again, your work is solid enough that you'll gain an extra 1,200 eddies. That's counting in losses for keeping yourself alive and fed through the week. And that's for both of you, Slideshow and for Grip.
Oh, we get 1,200 eddies?
Yep.
Fancy.
On February 14th, 2078, Grip, you get a call from Papillo. This would be early in the morning, somewhere around 9 a.m. You're muted if you're talking. Zach, I can't hear you.
I mean, I'll take the call.
Hey, hey, man. I'm kind of in a bind here. I'm looking for some edge runners, and I know you're reliable. Probably call up Slideshow, but I need like a crew, a serious crew. I've got a pretty big deal here, and pretty big situation. Also, if you got any friends in law enforcement, I could definitely use a hand here on this.
Law enforcement? How much this one pay?
Let's go with 2,000. This is a pretty big job.
And how many guys are you thinking? What are we looking for?
Full crew.
Need a net runner, or is the cop all we need?
Netrunner would be nice. Definitely help with a couple of problems. But mainly cop, maybe a tech, some guns. You probably need somebody to patch you up. Netrunner would be nice, and I definitely need that cop. For sure need a cop.
I'll see what I can do when you need them all by.
So today's the 14th. I'm thinking the 14th. If you want to go ahead and meet me over at Dino's downtown, we'll have our talk there. And out of character, you kind of like shake your head like, Dino's a fixer. Why is a fixer setting up a meet at a fixer's place? That's pretty.
I don't love that. But I don't say anything over the phone. It's just the, like you said, head shake. Just like,
Alright, I'll let you know as soon as I can when we're on the way.
Thanks.
it's gonna start firing off messages on his agent. Starting with Kincaid. Just a standard, it doesn't have any details, it's just Grip with a question mark.
I mean, Kincaid would be worried if Grip reached out to him whatsoever, so matching question mark.
You free? Another question mark. Two separate texts. You free? Then another question mark.
Safe question mark when?
Today.
Question mark.
Question mark, yeah.
Can do. Tell me where.
Sends over the deeds.
Red Tail's gonna see the whole dynamic of the party.
Yeah. He
We
said
don't
he
get
was
along
gonna get
great.
Sidewinder, so I don't need to message Sidewinder. I'll reach out to
Slideshow.
Slideshow?
Sidewinder's a way better name. Why didn't you think of that one?
Hold on.
Shit.
This probably wasn't intended by Jonah, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure we kind of put it on the table there. Did you name your character Slideshow because he started his acting career in porn?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe
I did. Maybe I didn't. Don't judge me.
Don't ask me questions.
That's also a good name for a good start for Sidewinder.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I like your technique. I like your moves.
Slithered right in here.
He invented it's his eponymous move.
I'll send the same question mark to Squinks and
Squints.
Squinks.
You're just doing great on names.
Can I say I'm honored that you got my name right?
Fucking.
What about Daniel? What are you gonna call him?
Squinks and Sidewinder.
Lilo. Right? And all the guys.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only doctor you know would be Red
I'm
Tail.
Stitch.
So.
I'm Stitch now. He just calls me Stitch. That's fine.
It's great.
I want to see Grip's contact list. Where's all our names? Just how he remembers them.
Just misspelled.
Sorry, I thought these.
And then it's just Kincaid parentheses shitty cop.
Fucking cuff. He listed as bacon emoji.
Fair enough.
Not even a name, just the emoji.
Just the emoji.
So if
as soon as I get just a question mark, I say I'll be there.
Sends a pin. That's all it is.
The realist. Absolutely the realist. If you show up at Dino's Bar is up in downtown. It is a rocker bar. It's got a small, stage lighting. Then there's the bar seating and tables. Despite that, during the time that you arrive, which would be kind of afternoonish, it's kind of like the windows are all open and it's like a diner, so it's like very well lit, but with this like addendum of rock bar. You would see two guys sitting at a table, like a booth, and one of them you would recognize Grip and Slideshow as Papillo, and then the other one you would recognize as Dino Dinovich. Dino Dinovich is the fixer of downtown. He is a rock, quote-unquote, legend. He's kind of a big deal. And when you get to that table, you'd see that they're talking, and sitting out on the table is Mickey's guitar. And Dino goes, "Oh, your business partners are here. All right, well, I'll let you handle your stuff. As a favor for the gift." And Fabio says, "Thank you so much. I respect it. I've been trying to find a place of my own, but, just making headway." And Dino would take the guitar, get up, kind of walk over to the wall, mount it, and then head back to behind the bar. Papillo would sit on one side of the booth, but would slide in a little bit deeper to allow for seating next to him. It's kind of one of those roundy deals, so he's kind of sitting in the middle, and people kind of sit next to him as they box in.
I love that.
And as he's sitting there, he's got the menu, he's kind of looking at it idly, and nods his head. "So, you got a cop?"
I did.
Okay, yeah.
Just nod towards Kincaid.
Oh, hi. My name is Papillo. How you doing?
What's this about?
Okay. Very forward.
Out of character. Very sorry. There's a damn sunbeam. There's a window right here, and it hits me every night. This is Papillo talking to Kincaid, asking about a cop.
Yeah. He said he asked.
I apologize genuinely.
Yeah, he asked Grip. "So you got a cop?" And he's like, "This is him." Gestures to Kincaid, and then he goes, "Oh, okay." And you're like, "What's this about?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, right to business." Okay,
Fair
so
enough. I don't want to come off as mean about it.
No, sure. And
but I gotta be
the light
guarded on these edge runners, and it's just fucking. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, he would say, well, here's the gig. Situation's pretty fucked, to say the least. The friend of mine is getting moved out of Night City, heading down south. They're going to take him across the border, take him into L.A. There's a maximum security facility in Los Angeles that he's being extradited by SoCal to go to. And, well, situation's pretty fucked. He doesn't belong in there, and he hasn't had due process, and the whole situation has just been a goddamn shit show. This motherfucker, some netrunner, calls himself God, fucked my guy over, and basically made him take the fall for a big deal. A big deal gone wrong. And I can't let myself live if someone who was doing a job for me is getting this royally fucked. Especially since it's fucking horror on my rep, and I don't need that right now. I'm still trying to build my shit up. You know? So the job's...
Buffio, if I may interrupt. You said he was set up by God?
Oh, shit. Sorry, no. This netrunner calls himself God. Some asshole. That's like his handle. Like, you know, your slideshow, but your name is like something else. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we're gonna go up against a netrunner that calls himself God.
Yeah, it's just a fucking netrunner. Plenty of people take on crazy ass handles.
Yeah.
You know how many Jesuses I've seen die? In the Valentinos alone?
What part of the city are you in?
Pronounce it Jesus.
All in good fun.
And then both say it at the same time and look at each other. Okay.
Jesus, no!
So, here's the situation. My understanding is that there is going to be 2 Max Tech agents on site, and the armored vehicle that is escorting him to the border is going to be moving on a very distinct, determined route. I don't think I can get him before they start moving him. We got to stop him from getting out of the city.
What's your inmate's name?
He looks at you. Is it important?
I need to know who I'm rescuing from the police.
Sure. That makes sense. His name's Adrian Ella.
Adrian Ella?
Yeah. You know him?
Name rings a bell. What did he do for you before this setup?
Well, I kind of lost track of him for a while. And then he showed back up on my radar like 2 weeks ago. It was when you started doing the bodyguard work for me, Grip, about the same time, end of last month. And then, well, I had him doing a job for me, pulling some data streams out of Petrochem. We were looking at getting information on their traffic, so to speak. As you know, Petrochem does deal in some pharmaceuticals, and also it deals in chew too. And the main thing we were looking into was fluctuations in price on gasoline, so we would know when to invest and when not to invest in Petrochem. Some real stock-related shit. Which, again, it's illegal, but it's not like, you know, shooting a guy and taking their money out of their pocket or anything, you know?
This Ella character, beyond market fraud, whatever he's guilty of, what's he in for? What are the actual charges on him?
What they busted him for was conspiracy against a corporation. And that has a sentence of 10 years minimum. The case never went to a judge. They apparently doctored an entire fucking court session that never happened, and he wasn't at. And then we lost, the lawyer and me lost touch with him, couldn't talk to him. When we asked about him, I believe the lawyer was threatened at gunpoint. Says he got shot in the shin. And, yeah, gone missing. Information I've been able to pull up, he's set for prisoner transfer, and he's heading to a maximum security facility in Los Angeles for unknown crimes against SoCal. Which I guess means that he's in turn probably going to be showing up on like a NUSA federal court charge. Why would they take him there if not?
Did they say which court?
No. It's got to be in Los Angeles, though, so who the fuck cares? It's too far away. He'll be dead by then. Well, effectively dead by then. Like, bureaucratically dead.
You know when the transfer is scheduled?
Yeah, so it's going to be scheduled for the 25th of February. That's when the vehicle's
Today's the 14th, was the idea?
That's right.
Okay.
It's supposed to move out by then. And I'm keeping my ear to the ground. Now, because of how shaky this situation is, the information I've been able to glean, it could move up, it could move down. The reason I needed a cop is because you can access that information right in NCPD's data banks, and I don't have to try and figure out a netrunner or anything to get a hold of that data. And maybe you can get an idea of when they're supposed to move, or maybe get some information on the inside, like what's going on with him. Like, is he already dead? Am I wasting my fucking time here? I don't know if Grip told you, but I'm willing to pay you each $2,000 up front right now, cash. And you hear him kind of like kick his foot against something metal under the table. If you take this gig. Now, obviously, there's nothing to keep you on the gig after that. I understand. Some fixers are very adamant about not paying their edge runners up front, but I want to make sure you understand how serious I am about this situation. Okay? Adrian didn't do anything wrong. All he was doing was working for me on pulling that data, and again, this God guy, I don't know who the fuck he is or why he bottlenecked him like that, but situation went south so goddamn fast.
His name is Papillo?
Papillo.
Papillo.
Yeah.
I can look into it. Depends on what department he's under. Depends on who made the arrest. But as far as prisoner transfer, I imagine I can get my hands on that information.
I believe it was Department Special Investigations.
Sim, got it.
So if they call it inside.
I may have a lead there that might be able to help me.
When you say Sim, Papillo goes, is that what they call it in-house? Are you fucking kidding me?
Afraid so.
Wild work.
Well, you're the one with the questionable...
Hey!
You're the one with the questionable reputation, showing up with a briefcase full of money
I'll be
to
honest.
a guy you didn't know you weren't sure was a cop.
I'll be honest. I mean, all's fair, but cops are supposed to be like the movies, No.
Supposed to ain't is, sir.
No, they stopped being like the movies. You know that, Papillo.
Yeah. Yeah, not like Cowboy Phantom over here. He gestures at fucking slideshow.
Really? You gotta bring that up every time.
Sorry.
God damn.
Real quick, everybody roll a d10. That's not Jonah.
A one.
Okay.
A couple of ones.
Chody, Redtail.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mine was a 7.
You two recognize slideshow after he mentions that. You remember a show like maybe half a decade or so ago called Cowboy Phantom on WNS? That was about this undead cowboy, like in or undead nomad who was like getting revenge on his whole like nomad pack getting killed and like murdering a bunch of government agents about it. And the guy who's sitting next to you, slideshow, he is the lead character, like the lead actor from that show.
I laugh and sing the theme song.
Recognize you. You were that zombie guy.
You know what, Chody? I'm going to give you an interesting opportunity here. Theme song's never been made up, so you take your time.
You have
Okay,
7
hold on.
days.
What's his name again?
Cowboy Phantom.
Cowboy Phantom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have time for this, right? I don't have to.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Okay. Okay. I'll get back to you.
All right. Too good. But yeah, he sings.
Yeah.
He sings what he's writing in the future of what you'll have. But right now, and it's embarrassing.
Oh my god! Please stop, please. Jesus. All right.
Okay, genuinely has no idea what they're talking about.
And Redtail, you'd recognize him from you said the
God,
the
that's funny.
It's too good.
Zombie cop. That guy.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I used to do. Yeah,
I loved that movie.
it was a long time ago. I'm still biffed they never gave me that last episode, but whatever. Oh, God.
So
Anyway, I'm into this job. You said we get to take on Max Tap.
you see his
I
eyes
want
go.
to see if I'm that good.
You see his eyes go blue, and you would see 2K enter your account slideshow. Oh, sorry, no, fuck, he's got the cash on his desk. I said he's doing it in cash. He pulls out the box, pulls it out, hands you 2 stacks, 2 bands.
Richard.
Kind of turns it, and kind of looks at Kincaid. You in?
Yeah, you got my attention.
Slams the 2 bands in front of you. Grip, you on this one?
If I can help it. That was grip.
Slams the bands in front of you. What about you, Four Eyes? Squints.
I think that's Chody.
What about you, Four Eyes?
I'm sorry, I was trying to think of the song.
I'm gonna be distracted the whole day.
Don't AI,
Yeah.
don't AI generate it though. Don't
I'm
do
not
that.
doing
Okay,
AI.
okay.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you want in on the gig?"
Oh yeah, sure. I got all kinds of new stuff, and I hold up my arm. That's all cybernetic now, and I'm like, it'll be cool to try it out.
And I believe it's disproportionate.
The fingers. Yeah, the fingers disjoint and.
I believe it's like disproportionate size too, right? Like because we discussed like the guy you got it off of was like a little bit bigger than you, so like you have one arm that's like slightly longer than the.
Oh, okay. It's from that guy.
He's
Okay,
growing
cool, yeah.
into it.
Yeah, but well, you could have. I mean, you could have reduced it down. Your attack, you could have made it better, but if you,
I would.
No.
Yeah, I would definitely have made it better.
Okay.
That's my thing. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be
that's the thing to
ghetto.
do.
It would be
Yeah.
nice. Yep.
He'll grow
That's my
into
thing.
it. He'll
What
grow
about
into
you, quiet guy over there?
Yeah, I'm in.
2 bands. Okay. Oh, sorry. What about you? Points at the Fox Doctor.
The fox sitting in the back. Oh yeah, I'm in. I want to see what your guy found that he was getting fucked over for.
Yeah. I'm not terribly worried about that. I'm mostly worried about like what we can do to get him out. If he goes south of the border when he's expected to, it's gonna fucking dampen my reputation. I don't want that to happen to him. I mean, I believe he's got a career. You know, I don't remember what he was doing. He said he worked for some company, and he was doing it.
Out of character, John. I know this guy, right? He's the one I
Ella is the guy you
interrogated
helped.
in my actual apartment.
Yeah, Scavs had
I
him.
don't remember well enough about him.
He said he worked for a company named Raven Hold on, what's it
They
called?
did like a security firm, right? Like they worked with the police at one point.
No. Well, yes and no. Hold on. Raven Micro Cybernetics. It is a corporation that deals with cyberware distribution and generation. They mainly do like full body conversions and shit. They have a small office inside, and they work alongside Militech Cybertech, Militech Cybernetics Division, Dynalar, a lot of the bigger firms. So they're not like a huge, like mega corporation like the others. And they are a mega corporation, but they're not like as big as the others. And they do a lot of work with like Dynalar, Rockland, Militech, etc., to kind of benefit them with cost sufficient work that isn't in house. So like when they're outsourcing shit.
Okay. When I recall when I scanned him initially when we first found Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
He had some history on the NCPD database to where he was somehow employed with or for NCPD for some kind of like
Right. Which was
security software or something.
Cybernetics. Yeah, it would have been
Okay.
like updates to neuroports and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like systems kind of deal.
Yeah. So effectively yes, but not like in how like in a building.
Not
people.
buildings, not computer logs, but
Yeah.
people. Okay.
He's definitely a runner that deals with cyberware a lot.
Okay. Well, I was meaning to check in on him anyhow.
You don't say that out loud, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't need this guy to know that I know who he's talking about.
It's a big old can of worms, though. But yeah, the name is very familiar. We're getting a lot of callbacks this episode. Okay, if you're all on board, whatever you need from me, I'll get it to you as best I can. Keep me updated on any kind of leads or any forward momentum you make on the gig. If you can, looking at directly at Kincaid, and if you can, find out exactly when he's going, exactly what they're holding him for. I need that information so I can get it to his lawyer and we can try and work something out. It's a fucking nightmare. They're not even giving him due process. It's an absolute piece of shit.
I'll flick him my contact info.
Yep.
I'll be in touch with you the moment I have something I believe to be accurate.
He'll connect with you. What you would notice, Leo, is when he does it, he's actually doing it with a proxy. So it seems that he's not actually using his phone. His phone's connected to a burner phone in his pocket, and the burner phone is actually sending it out. If you'd like, you can make an interface roll to try and get his real phone number, or you can just play by his rules and stay on his current
I won't
phone.
try to get it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our business. I appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing what you got on the build-up. Like I said, if you need anything from me, I'll do what I can to make sure I got it for you. All right? I can't leave until you guys do, he says, because he's boxed in.
Oh, shit, sorry.
I'll leave.
Little levity.
Real quick to answer your question, Jonah, you did, but they were basically superfluous. Your Neuroport has a hollow phone in it, so you do not need to have a phone installed in your ear.
Okay, no, I got scared. That's why.
No worries.
Thank
I
you.
just want to make sure that's cleared up. I thought I texted you about it or DM'd you about it, but I forgot. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
I have one more question.
Shoot.
It's about gameplay and stuff. It's a really niche question, but since I have the pop-up perk, if I do an aimed shot with my pistol, does that just end my action, or do I get a secondary shot?
You can never have
after
rate
the-
of fire greater than 1, so pop will not work with aim shots.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. So you guys get up, you leave. He leaves pretty quickly after the meeting breaks. And you'd see that he gets into a very nice looking sports car. Like a supercar, Very, very, very pretty looking vehicle.
Yeah, Kincaid's gonna kind of take the long way home.
Before we all leave, while we're all gathered, Slideshow is gonna kind of address everyone. All right, so I don't know if you guys know this, but on the interwebs, I do this thing where I got a few BDs out already, kind of showing my exploits on these jobs. How do you guys feel about being on the internet?
I've been on Hogwatch 3 times.
All right,
I
but
mean,
nonetheless,
I'd
as
rather
long
not.
as you get my good side and Grip starts walking away.
I'm gonna
Is that a good
send
side?
y'all. Huh?
Nothing. Continue.
I'm gonna send y'all something to view. Just let me know if you want to be blurred out or if you want to be on the action. And then he sends all of them like his link.
Quince
You're
would let him
muted.
know he wants to be blurred out.
All right. You
Are
muted.
you
John.
recording right now?
No, I only record on the action.
If you make my job any harder than it is, I am going to beat you to death.
I mean,
Retail is gonna laugh though. He's like, try to blur me out. Like, my whole body's just a big blur.
it's just a foxtail behind a pixelation. Who could he be?
Who could it be?
It sounds like there's
He
a
just
whole
looks over there, just a fucking black hole.
den of these types.
Leo would prefer to be blurred out.
So Leo and Squid's blurred out. Right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Sounds like.
John, you're muted.
Oh, I sure am. I would say so.
You've been muted for a while.
Kincaid
So I saw
out,
your lips moving.
and then I think that Grip was basically saying to you, "No," by saying "shoot my back" is what he was. Kind
No,
of...
he said get his good side. I thought he said.
Oh, he wants. Okay, he doesn't.
And then he
His
walked
back is
away.
his good side.
I took it as his back as his good sides. Yeah, that's what I was seeing there too.
Love to watch him walk away.
Yeah, sure do. Yeah.
It's a big ass blur.
Hate to see you go. Love to watch you leave.
Oh, right. So
Put that in the lyrics. Put that in the lyrics.
for Cowboy. It's unrelated. This is the car he's
He
driving.
could be an undead sexually harassing cowboy. There's many facets to this character we haven't explored yet.
Many facets, very deep, very very nuanced character.
Joey, I expect a full week's worth of work out of it.
Retail is gonna message Kincaid though. Like,
Yeah, I did just see that. Yeah, if that's something you want to do, I do want to learn more about what Sin has on Adrianella. And Kincaid is going to actually try to reach out to Adrianella because I believe I gave him a burner phone.
Yeah.
Some time ago.
Call doesn't work. Yeah, goes straight to voicemail.
Straight to voicemail, so it's off.
Yep. It would actually more or less denote in this day and age that the power has been removed from it. The physical phone. And then you said you were reaching out to Bart. Yeah. Bart would say, "Yeah, I'll see what I can't find on him." About half an hour later, Kincaid, you get a phone call. It's from a phone number you don't recognize. Hey, it's Bart. Your friend reached out to me, the medtech. I'm just calling to let you know and let him know on a very simple and unrelated channel. Don't ask questions about Adrianella. That's not a good idea right now. Absolutely top brass on Sin. Shadow shit. I can't fuck with it. I'm interested, but does this have to do with God?
Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you.
Like,
Hang up.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
I don't know if he's being tracked.
They called you on a burner phone, so probably not.
yeah, you're pretty sure you heard like the waves in the background.
Motherfucker went to the beach and everything.
He went as far the fuck away as he could from the office, and then made a phone call. Yeah, 100%.
He should know better than to actually call me.
Yeah, he didn't want to text back. Oh yeah, here's what I got. So there's like a paper trail. That would have been fucking stupider. But yeah, that's all you get out of Bart.
I guess I need to destroy this burner phone then.
Chuck it in the water.
That's the point of him.
Top brass, and I sent a text message, fuck this.
Anything
Top
else?
brass, secret shit. Don't look into Adrianella.
It's almost like he's asking you to.
I mean, I already dialed a phone that was owned by him.
While that's going on, can I do a library search on him?
On Adrianella?
Yeah.
Where do you work? Where's his house? Where do you live?
I know.
So all the information I gave to Zach, you get. He worked for Raven Micro Cybernetics. He was a mid-tier, programmer for said company. He did do work for NCPD. Apparently, he had some tendencies. I believe he stole from NCPD, which is why he had problems with them. Like an actual rap sheet. Yeah, you would recognize him based on his picture and everything that he was the guy that Kincaid had at his apartment after your... Let me just make sure I've got it sequenced right. Warehouse raid, found people who were being drugged and knocked comatose by the scabs. He was the most comatose boy. You killed a shit ton of scabs there. You saved him. Kincaid took him for questioning. He vanished off the face of the earth to you at that point.
Okay, tracking.
And yeah, his apartment's address is it's in the Glen.
So what are we doing here, guys?
Bart told me not to do something, but I did take that guy's money. And I don't respect Bart very much. So I'm probably going to keep nosing into this.
Good man.
Play like a fiddle.
Tell me not to do something, I want to do it even more.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, it's the latter half of February 14th, 2078. Does anybody have plans for the evening that you're wanting to engage in?
No.
Gotta get with some fans.
I just want to make sure I recite this one more time, just so I make sure it's very clear. It is February 14th.
Like some kind of Saints Day or something?
Oh, I've spent time with.
No, it's
I
Valentine's.
I'm trying to get
Wow.
with some fans.
don't know
So,
about you guys.
do you have any plans for Valentine's Day?
Dinner.
Nice place?
Fan.
Yes.
Do you like Italian?
If she does.
Yeah, she does. Francisca Fiore. So you go to a fancy restaurant on the north side of the Corpo Center Plaza, and you wine and dine her. Now, she has stated in the last week that She feels like she's ready to get back out there. She wants to go back and do some work. And what she tells you during the dinner is, "Hey, I I reached out to um, I reached out to Kaneshiro Ray to see if I can't get a gig.
She's the one that screwed you over last time with that gig.
She didn't screw me over with the gig. We got fucked over on the gig. It was a mistake on our part. She didn't do shit.
Sounds like she didn't provide enough information.
Are you telling me I can't work for her?
No, I'm not telling you that. I mean, I would just prefer someone else, but I'm not going to tell you no.
You got a name?
Yeah, there's Hungry, there's Zigzag.
Zigzag's not going to take a fucking low ass person like me.
I think we could make it work if you wanted to take a job from him.
Hungry is fine. If he's got work, I'll take the gig. You set it up. That's fine. Make a human perception roll.
What's it under?
Social. Yeah. So you're able to tell that she's kind of annoyed that she's like, not going to, because it sounds like she already got made the call to Ray and had a gig lined up. So it sounds like she's kind of annoyed, and you're not sure with that role whether or not she's going to heed your warning and not work for Ray.
Listen, if you really want to work for Ray, I support it. Is there any way that I could join?
You're not doing some gig for Hungry yourself already?
I haven't heard from Hungry in a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, we've been kind of... And then there's a flashback of sheets flying all over the place, just lots of passionate lovemakings that happened during the last 2 weeks. It's very weird to have Valentine's Day after that kind of reunion, but here we are at a restaurant. And she says, I mean, you've been kind of busy.
Or at least keep me informed as much as you can. I'd appreciate it for me.
I'll ask her if she needs extra help. Yeah, I mean, I can ask her. I think we already have a net runner on the deal, but...
Better than me?
No, definitely not. More affordable than you. She smiles. It's almost like that Hungry guy's made out of money.
Yeah, it's really surprising, actually.
Yeah. I don't get it either. But, saved my life. So, with, without his help, I probably would have... Who the fuck knows? And food's delivered, wines, drinking. You have a good evening. Is there anything that you want to ask her about the job at all besides that? This is the freezer girl, correct?
Do you know what the gig is yet that you're trying to do?
Got a little bit of details on it. It's situation in Vista Del Rey. Apparently, a couple weeks ago, there was a hit job on some Valentinos by these edge runners, and we're trying to track down the edge runners for Ray, find out who they are, and depending on what we figure out, maybe kill them. Said they worked for a fixer named Hatter, and that's all we got on it. So we'll probably start there. Do you know that guy, Hatter?
No, I don't recall that name.
Yeah.
But if I hear anything, I'll definitely let you know.
The 2 edge runners I got working, the net runner, Blue, he says this Hatter guy is kind of in good with the Maelstrom gang. So kind of worried, but at least, that's a visible threat versus the scavs who just snuck out of nowhere.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And yeah, she would tell you a little bit more about it, but there really isn't much more besides that. They're looking for edge runners that killed Valentinos in Mega Building 5 back on the 28th or 29th. And she's going to investigate that, and if she has to, kill the people who killed.
Okay. Yeah. Just let her know if she needs anything.
Yeah.
To let me know if I find anything, I'll pass it on.
And do you tell her about your job?
No.
Okay. You tell her you're on one?
Tell her that I might have found one, but we'll see how it pans out.
Gotcha. Playing it low key. Cool.
Secret's neat.
Yeah. It's the basis of a strong relationship, that.
Right? Valentine's Day and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
much is dinner?
Oh, probably upwards of 500.
She got any money on her?
Dutch.
she can cover her half, right?
I have too much on me right now.
We're going Dutch, right?
You wore heels. You can't run in those.
You can't hide in that. Too good. Anybody else have anything that they do during the evening of Valentine's Day?
Cry.
It's just like the goggles fill up.
Yep.
As they straight jork in it.
Slideshow's gonna try to do fans.
Slideshow's gonna do what?
He's gonna try to do fans.
Do what?
Do fans.
Fans.
He's gonna try to
What
hook
are
up
we
with
gonna
fans.
do?
He's
I'm
taking
answering
advantage
fans.
of his fan base.
Do his fans. Okay, go ahead and make a charismatic impact roll.
Goodness. The fuck is that? Okay.
Okay, yeah. I would say with that roll, based on what the chart says, let me just double check.
Maybe 14, I think? Or 12?
Hold on. Charismatic impact. Page 2044 with a roll of a 10 and a charismatic impact rank of 4. You can convince a fan to do a major favor for you. A single fan to do a major favor for you.
Ew.
Go to bed with the rocker boy, put a good word in for them, etc. Based on that, though, and the position, I am going to say that it is going to be an older lady who is a fan of your time on Days of the Restless. And basically, it is you're at a bar, and then she comes over, and you're kind of like, drinking alone. You're just like, fuck it. Maybe I'll try and find some, so to speak. And she recognizes you. You use that as your foot in the door, so to speak. Obviously, don't put your foot in her. And then that's that. You wake up in her apartment, which is not terribly great. Apartment in Mega Building AH9.
Okay.
Anybody else have any Valentine's Day thing they want to deal with? Redtail?
They probably would have left cotton some flowers on the desk.
Okay. She has them out, and it looks like she takes a lot of time, like clipping the plastic so that it's kind of, because they're not real flowers. Clipping the plastic. And
She'd be eating them if they were.
because she's a bunny. That is probably true. She's clipping them and kind of arranging them in a way that's more like, deliberate. I'm assuming you didn't spend more than 10 eddies on these. And she's kind of making
Not that cheap.
Okay, you went the full bore. You paid 50, right? You got the costly. So she's cutting them and making
roses.
She's making them look nice, and she's kind of like leaving them out on the table there. Did you write a card for the flowers, or did you just get them at like a no
I
card?
just got the flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
No card,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Plutonic as it ever was, and she takes them in kind. Squint's crying. Grip, what are we doing for Valentine's Day? Nothing.
Nothing. Grip is very comfortable being alone.
Yep.
At the moment.
You all wake up the next day, and again, what you do is we're in the heist planning mode, and he's given you the details. The fixer has. If you want him to work out the details, he is willing to work with you to do that, but he's letting you kind of do the legwork on prep.
Information on prison inmates and sentencings would most likely be accessible at, say,
A terminal.
An actual terminal within, like, City Hall or something, right?
Or in your offices, NCPD, Vice.
I really don't want to show my hand too much. I've already shown plenty by even reaching out to Bart.
Do you try
It sounds like everybody and their brother is trying to
use
learn
someone
about
else's
Adrian
terminal.
Ellen.
You could use someone else's terminal. That's an option.
Don't we have a lot of empty desks here at Vice?
Yeah, plenty of empty desks. It wasn't planning this, but we'll go ahead and just do it for now. Oh shit! Hold on. I see.
I'm about to get shot.
Bang bang.
Sniper through the window.
So, welcome to the Vice office that you work in. This is located in the Glen, not too far from City Hall. So, if you wanted to just turn the door, looks like the lighting is not working. So, let me go ahead and fix that.
I was gonna say everything's like an electric blue, like a crime drama.
And now you can't see anything.
Not shit, dude. Not a thing.
Vision's on.
Hello, darkness.
I don't understand what is going on with the...
I don't know. I dug the electric blue, honestly.
There we go.
City Hall's behind
turn
on it.
the lights back on.
Oh, so yeah, so City Hall's not too far from where you're located. It's in the Glen. It's not too terribly far from your apartment either, this office. And basically you have the staging area. It's pretty quiet right now, like not really much to do. And this is where you typically work. This is where you came back to work when you first showed up. The office that you are currently occupying is located in this section over here. So I'm going to move you
Yeah, if you would drag me to where you're talking about.
like so.
I don't know if anyone else can see it since I'm just here by myself.
And so this office, it's you and what the fuck was the kid's name?
Oh, jeez, I don't
We are-
remember.
We are not supposed to be able to see, right, John? Just him.
Right, just him. Jason
Okay.
Waterman is the person who's in this area with you. So this is his desk and this is your desk. And then through this door into the space on the opposite side is more offices. Yeah. More desks.
Am I familiar with any of these being just empty seats? Because
So,
there was like quite an exodus of people.
as you can see, there's only one desk that's actually being utilized, and that's this desk here. The other desks are actually empty. And the desk that's being utilized, from what you can tell, it's someone who is packing up and getting ready to leave. Like, they might be here for their 2 weeks at most. The interrogation room is literally right next to your office. So it's... I'll go ahead and bring up the... You know the space, so I'm just going to kill the dynamic lighting situation.
Yeah, if you want to do the full show,
Yeah.
just start pinging things, because I'm sure you pinged something I didn't see around a corner when you were talking about who's at a desk.
So this is the desks that you're. These are empty except for this one, and this one the guy's like on their 2 weeks, right? This is Waterman. This is Kincaid. This is the interrogation room, as you can see. And then this here, this space right there, is not your captain, but basically the lead detective for Vice goes there. This is the armory room, but it is also evidence lockers. This is where you get dressed and your gear goes for mainly the deputies who are on Vice and stationed here. There are more desks over here on this side. They are all empty except for this one. And then this is also a location where they get information networked between NCPD, Precinct 3, and your location, which is the precinct you're playing off of, Precinct 3. Obviously, this is the front desk right here. And then that's it for floor 1. There's a basement. In the basement, you have access to a garage. You have access to a small jail, and you have access to the databases, as well as the primary evidence storage lockers. Upstairs is the map on the right, and we'll go over that. So when you come up the stairs, there is roof access. The building is not very big, and as is the way with most buildings around City Hall, except for like the larger stuff. This is the conference room. This is where if there's like APBs or other kind of like more department focused things that are required to have meetings for, that would be where that happens. The shitters and the showers, they're unisex. They don't give a fuck. Then you have the Netrunner station. This place is fully staffed. And then you have these offices in here. Again, only one of them is occupied. And then in this room, you have the case files, which are stored on shards and kept on shelves in this space. And then the captain's office.
Who is the lead detective? Is that somebody I've been made aware of before?
So you have not. He has not come up at all as of yet. The lead detective's name is Uri Unverfirth. I will post the name.
It rolls right off the tongue. A lot more V's than I'd have expected.
It's actually a lot less V's than you had expected. It's 1 V.
Okay. It is half as many V's as anticipated.
He is, as far as you understand, an older cop that was formerly a member of the NCPD combat patrol for combat zones during the time of the Red and the 50s. He's probably 70 or 80 years old by now. You're not sure. But he definitely carries himself like a old, haggard, kind of battle-scarred, crazy person. And as far as lead detective, you don't know any of his work, and you've been working in Vice for a while, so he just got the lead role not long ago. He was transferred from a different precinct and a different department.
Huh. It's a lot to take in.
take your edge runners to work day.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but that's a high risk.
Not really. There's not even a secretary at the front. Like, it's that quiet in this space.
Brings Redtail in handcuffs.
The only person who is at his desk is the guy who's getting ready to leave. Like, everybody else is out doing work.
Kincaid will sit at his desk to just sort of go through the motions.
Yeah.
He's going to download what files he has on Hungry, Amanda Faraway, Zigzag, and Deepak.
Yeah, there's no file for Zigzag. There's nobody by that handle or name in the NCPD database. The file for Hungry, shows, minor transactional kind of crimes. He does have a rap sheet, but it's not very big or nothing like, spiking that's super hard.
Okay.
You said who else?
Faraway.
Oh, Faraway. No rap sheet. She doesn't appear to have an NC. There's no citizen marker. She doesn't appear to be listed there either. However,
She's just a Badlands girl.
Yeah, there is an insert for an NUSA individual named Amanda Faraway, and it does look like it is a much younger version of her.
And Deepak.
Deepak, the doctor, Deepak Murti, he appears to be a Ripper Doc that works for licensed branch of Zetatech on the northwest side of downtown. Shows his office location. It shows his work history. It does look like there are case files, or more or less what would be considered people filing charges, but no charges being upheld, of manipulation and transaction with a corpse, or transaction using a corpse. But it doesn't look like anything came of these charges. Basically, someone accused him of it is what you would denote that as.
What I'm trying to do is put down a paper trail of me looking into things that aren't immediately G or the Adrianella situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have reasons that include Adrianella to investigate Deepak, but it's not strictly that.
Got it.
When
you
while I'm at it, I'm trying to build a log of Kincaid's on this, and this.
Yeah.
If people are actually looking into me, and I'm gonna do the same for the other 4 characters we have here.
Okay.
Leo Grip, Redtail, Squints, 5 characters, sorry, and
Slideshow.
Thank you.
As you're doing that, and you're getting ready to kind of go into the cyberpunks, the door opens, and in walks Jason Waterman, and he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Did everything work out with that situation?"
Talking about Dustin?
Yeah, was that the one I was helping you with? I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. I haven't.
Yeah, sorry, kid.
No problem.
Been a busy few weeks for me.
Me too.
How you holding up?
I'm doing okay. They got me doing kind of bullshit work. Apparently licensing work regarding heavy machinery being used across town. Lead detective thinks that it has to do with moving some stuff out of Santo Domingo and getting it into Boxville. Thinks it's drugs.
What kind of machinery are we talking? Forklifts, trucks?
Garbage disposal stuff.
At least you're thinking out of the box.
Boxville, I get it. It's a good joke, boss.
What do you think they're moving?
I don't know. I'm just supposed to be keeping track of it. Lead detective, I believe, is out there on the Coronado Dam right now, getting physical evidence, camera, video, etc. But yeah, it looks like
Well,
they've been. Normally, Watson, it has an uptick in trash, during the winter. Some folks like staying inside when there isn't shit to do outside, but it's not like we're the Midwest or some shit. But yeah, it's more trucks are heading up that way. I think it's just because of that. But he told me to, make sure I've got a good pattern and a log of all the vehicles that are moving out there to drop stuff off in the dam or drop stuff off in the junkyards.
not a bad idea.
Well,
Listen carefully, you might learn something.
we'll do.
Anything you need help with? I'm sorry to.
Um,
You just started this place and it's a ghost town.
oh no, it's not too bad. Bill over in the next room, he's he's leaving soon, but he's been really helpful.
All right. Well, follow the zebra, man. Let me know if there's anything you could do.
Will do. And yeah, if you want me to send this stuff over to you, I'm sure the lead detective wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind looking into it. I've got, I'm afraid a few pots on the back burner these days, but I'm sure I have time to have a look.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of folks are just trying to move their stuff through these small edge case combat zones, and I mean, I guess that's safer than dealing with NCPD direct. But, and he kind of, after saying that, just kind of.
It's safer than dealing NCPD direct.
So, like, what he meant was.
Sorry, I just wanted, clarification.
Yeah, going through a combat zone is better than like getting caught by NCPD by trying to move your stuff through the city.
Yeah, a cop feels a lot less powerful when he's in the Badlands.
Yeah. And he kind of says that and then just kind of gets back to his typing. Busy work.
Listen, I might bring an edge runner or two in here chasing those zebras,
Yeah, lead detective does it all the time.
You wouldn't mind if I set up a net runner in the next room over?
Oh,
likely Bill's desk.
You'll have to check with the net runners on 2. They are very particular about anybody who's outside touching computers.
Gotcha.
I think who's the guy? Dastan. He's the guy. Officer Dastan. He's the guy who you'll need to talk to.
I'll bring it up with him.
All right.
Good luck out there, kid.
You too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave my computer running, just downloading what information I can off of like the list of 8 or 10 individuals I gave.
Sure. If you want information on Squints, clean as a whistle, appears to just be a citizen.
Not really like digging for information, just making it look like my computer's busy with red herrings.
Grip
and I'm gonna go up to the files room.
Grip is a case log of a bunch of spent warrants. Like they just never file them or never finish them. But yeah, like murder one, like all sorts of crazy shit just listed throughout. Red Tail, there's apparently some files that have been pulled, and it looks like Biotechnica purchased the rights to the files. So you're kind of like, what's that about? And then Leo, clean as a whistle, doesn't appear to be anything on there other than like when he was 15. Apparently some scuffle at Mega Building 10.
The signs were all there.
He was an edge runner because he was a bully. Or he was bullied and then he bullied the bully.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that run and see if I can't go through just in the files room.
Yeah, also sorry, just not to leave anybody out. Slideshow has no criminal record.
Huh. Nothing?
Why would you think he'd have one?
Nothing.
Come on now. No, yeah, apparently
I'm
nothing.
saying.
Oh, sorry. No, he would have minor
An
transactions.
actor in this
Sorry, he'd have
in
minor
this day and
transactions.
age.
He was held overnight a couple of times during the riots of what was it, 67? When the Mox riots happened.
Yeah, I'll ping a request to the Netrunner. I don't recall the name. I'm sorry.
Dastan.
Dastan. And request if there's like a form I need to fill out, or if I need to meet them in person to bring a Netrunner in to research anything.
Oh no, that's fine. He would say back on the email. Just go ahead. It's okay. Who told you needed a form? Would be the reply.
I've never done this before. I figured this is something you want to keep track of.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, if it's on your terminal, it's on you if anything untoward happens. But
Fair enough. And I'll ping Mitchell.
Yep.
Saying we need to actually hire people if we intend to keep this building operational.
He replies, "You're in the office," and then, like, over the next few moments, you'd hear
I just hear footsteps stopping down.
footsteps coming down the hall, and he pops open the door,
hallway.
cigarette hanging in his mouth, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing in the office? Shouldn't you be out there working?" He says with a smile, kind of walks over and sits down on the desk, next to you, looking at you. Hell. Looks at the picture. It's probably slideshow since slideshow was last. He's like, "Why are you looking at a cowboy phantom?"
That's twice I've heard of this show, and I've never seen
it. He points at the screen. You never saw Cowboy Phantom? Beautiful, beautiful series. Never ended right, but it was good. You know,
some edge runner I run with wanted to hire him to look into the Hungry situation.
This motherfucker runs.
They said you got to have a rocker boy. They're lucky. I don't know. He didn't strike me as
rocker boy. What Jake's head? This guy right here is running. That's funny. I mean, if he's half as good as he was on the show with a pistol, I mean, you've got yourself a crack shot. But yeah. How the last couple weeks been? I haven't touched base with you since you left for Dustin.
Been long. Got shot a lot.
That sounds like Dustin.
Places as you recall.
Yeah.
What's been happening around here?
A lot of nothing. More people leaving. I think Bill's out next week.
Whatever was going on with those scavs, they had some kind of operation.
Yeah.
I know you've read my reports. I want to look into it more closely.
So, you can't, and you can't. And here's the why. So, a few weeks ago, back last month, some undersecretary from Perales' office got engaged in some shit underneath NCU's subterranean basements and what have you. And Perales got wind of it, ordered Arasaka to look into the matter, and has basically bogarted the whole case from anybody from searching into it to other corporations, and more specifically us. NCPD can't deal with it. So I know there's a shit ton of information down there, because according to what they're saying, that's where they were growing a lot of the raw material for this new drug, tar, bitumen, or whatever it's called. Nasty substance. Really fucked up. Have you got wind of this shit?
That's the name I've heard. You're telling me Vice isn't allowed to follow up
On Vice Matters, yeah.
on an operation of this scale, grinding up dead bodies to fertilize soil to grow a narcotic that is incredibly harmful and addictive to our society.
That's right. And I have done everything I can to try and get in touch with the mayor. And unfortunately, that's not happening. Mayor Perales does not give a shit Apparently, he has locked it down, and it is being handled by Arasaka security firms. Said it's a matter of utmost importance, and it has to be handled by the Defense Force.
Kincaid's gonna sort of like glance around. There are security cameras and things in this room, or
Not
in
in
this
the
building
office,
at least.
no.
Not in the office?
Inside the interrogation room, for sure. We got that shit wired up, locked
Right.
down. There's one in the hallway, and like when you're going upstairs, because more secure shit's kind of held there, but not down here.
How frank and on the record do I have to be with you?
I don't give a fuck. And he kind of ashes his cigarette into your trash can.
Morales isn't police.
No, he's the mayor, which totally separate entity for sure.
Good to know.
If you want to look into it,
Got any standing orders for me? Because I need something to do.
I'm going to tell you, I don't. I think that's why most people are transferring out of here, because a lot of the work we've been doing is getting locked up by either border patrol, locked up by NCPD's SIN operations on the outskirts, or it's getting handled by the mayor's office and private security firms now. He kind of kneels or like leans in and like he takes his cigarette and like pulls out a second cigarette and lights that one. And then, crushes it with his cyber hand and tosses it into the trash can so it's not lit. And he says, if you start looking into it, I mean, only people that are going to stop you is basically everyone who's looking into it. Is it going to be an actual case that we log here? And he looks over at Jason Waterman and says, hey, kid. And he kind of turns his head. You like it here? He says, yeah. He says, then you keep your mouth the fuck shut about what we're talking about right now, okay? And the guy's like, yeah, boss, no problem. Of course, chief. And then Mitchell kind of looks down at you and says, do what you got to do. Blow this thing wide open.
Nothing's going on a record until I have a satisfying answer, and we could bring Vice. We could pay for lights in this fucking building.
Yeah.
Or I'm shot dead or arrested myself.
You don't like the blue?
Hurts the ice. Makes it look like a shitty TV show.
We don't want people to hang around in the office, so we want them out working. It's kind of a...
Don't worry, the hours are shit, but they don't pay us too much.
Yay! Do what you gotta do. And, give this kid a bit of work to do. Lead detective's running him ragged. He needs something else on his desk. Cut from you.
How you feel about field work, kid?
Nods his head and says, I'm on board. And kind of doesn't jump up because he's still doing the busy work. But yeah.
It's good to keep it quiet and be willing to do something by yourself.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. If this gets bad, if you get a gut feeling things aren't working, tell me immediately. Get yourself out of it. And I'll pull up the file on Deepak.
Okay.
Keep an eye on this fella. There's his information. That's where he works. That's where he lives. I want to know who he's working with, who he's meeting with, and how often he's there.
I'll have what I can by the end of the day.
Keep yourself unknown to him. Keep yourself safe.
Oh, should be easy. He's downtown. Plenty of CCTV down there.
Don't be braggadocious with me.
Oh.
Keep yourself unseen. Don't get killed.
Of course. I probably won't even go down there. I'll just eye in the sky.
All right.
Cut from you.
That's your lead.
We're going to go to, let's see. Squints, is there anything that you, in particular, after getting the information regarding the gig, that you want to kind of follow up on, check in on? Any thoughts that you want to kind of engage in?
Not a lot. Just
Not a
how
lot.
much we're getting paid, where we're going.
You got 2,000 in
You
cash.
already got paid.
Yeah, I got 2,000, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's hard. My guy's like, I want to invent things, but it's like that time effort of we don't have time to invent new things. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm in it to make stuff and
Okay.
Oh, you're
making
not
stuff
just
takes
an
time.
inventor. You're also some guy that could, I don't know,
I can go ask some of the
flood the
Valentinos, hang
police
out with
stations
them.
with phone calls.
Who are you gonna do what?
I mean, I can go ask some of the old Valentino guys what's going on if they have anything happening.
Well,
But call some of them.
What are you wanting to ask them about?
Just honestly, what's going on with Hungary? Where
Okay.
he's been so busy today, he's been so busy lately. We haven't heard from him for a while. What's going on with him?
What you'll pick up from them is basically like Hungary is diversifying his efforts. So they explain to you Hungary likes to spread the wealth. He likes to make sure that everybody's eating good. And he definitely had you as his edge runner crew for a lot longer than most people get his attention. And so what he tells you is Hungary is basically bringing new blood onto the field and kind of working with them. The Valentinos would suggest to you that if you're looking for a fixer to work with, you could always check in with Mal DaVincher. Goes by Flasher. He's a fixer up on Vista del Rey north side. And if you're looking for work, he could definitely help you out. He's also a bit of an information broker.
Okay. I'm gonna put him in my phone and.
Okay. Yeah, they'd give you the contact info. And do you reach out to him at all, or do you kind of wait to do that?
I'm gonna wait until we find out what we're actually doing, since we've already been paid, and then
Well,
after that, we'll.
The mission objective is pretty much on the table. Does everybody have an understanding of what you're supposed to be doing, or no? I just want to make sure that that's clear. I want to make sure it's concise and everyone's got it. If not, Jody, the current objective is Adrian Ella is being transferred from NCPD prison in Night City, which is on the... I'll move us back to the map and show you. Hold on.
I did mean to ask if there is a specific prison that he's being held in.
Yeah.
Or if there's even more than one prison.
There is one primary prison, but there are other holding locations. So the prison is located here.
Okay, the little circle thing.
So it's not just the little circle
it.
thing; it's also like the entire complex around it.
Okay.
That full block.
It's not this white building. It's like there's like a street that goes in between that and there. It's this tower, which is the maximum security detail. It's this building here, and then like this kind of area there. Yeah. And then next to it is the petrochem. This is the petrochem facility, and this is where they make chew, which is gasoline, but made from algae. So yeah, that's where they're taking him from. They're going to move from that location straight down south, and then they're going to take him down the 101 to the border, which is all the way at the bottom of the map. I'll snap ping you to it. And then if he makes it through that space, he's basically forfeit. Because, again, I don't know if everybody's clear on how this works in the world, but Night City is a free city. It does not exist as a part of the United States or the new United States. SoCal, which that border is for, is its own state in the new United States of America. NorCal is not a part of the new United States of America. It is a free state. So is Washington. So is Oregon, I believe. So they said, fuck that. I do not want to be a part of your new United States. And that was when they fought the Unification War back in 2070 to kind of isolate themselves away from being forced into the conglomeration of the states and cities. And Arasaka is the defense force that defends Night City from the fate of being ingratiated into the NUSA. Which is why, again, the mayor called upon Arasaka for whatever is happening in the sewers. Any questions on that, Jody? Or anybody else?
So were we supposed to be trying to like break him out, or just figure out why he was being held? And
Break
why he's being
him
transported?
out. He needs to be not...
Okay.
If he gets across the border, then
He did.
Papillo
So
basically
we
loses
need to get him across the border.
No, opposite.
Break him out and get him across the border.
We're
Bring him out.
stopping him from leaving the map.
Keep
They're
him
taking
in
him
the city.
away.
If he gets across that border, he is as good as dead. He's going to SoCal. The NUSA is going to get a hold of him. Federal charges
We are
going to be
rescuing him
reported
from
upon
prison
him.
exchange.
He's fucked.
So we need to break him out and then hide him?
In Night City.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the guy, Papillo, said that the main way he presumes that's going to be done is when they're transporting him from NC prison and taking him to the border. That will be your time to strike. You're going to attack the convoy, break him out of the back of it, and get him the fuck out. Which, to some of you, out of character and above the table, may sound familiar.
We do a lot of heist with.
It's a very
Convoys.
common trope in Cyberpunk. It does not have to be what happens here, but it is the one that Papillo suggested.
Boy, it's gonna be tough without a nomad.
We still gotta find out when he's being transported, right?
Yes. And that is what Kincaid is trying to do. But because of his fear that he will have his access tracked, he's trying to get you, I believe, the Netrunner, into Vice to basically run that search, but do it incog.
That's an idea.
Sounds good to me.
Do you call Leo and have him come out on the 20 or on the 15th?
I mean, I'm a little more coy about it, but yeah.
All right. Subtlety. Okay, well that's happening. Redtail, with the job that's been kind of laid out to you, is Redtail doing anything in the preliminary stages here that we want to kind of think about, work on? Any kind of prep or planning?
He'd like to make some explosives.
Do you have demolitions as a skill?
No, I don't.
Then that's not happening unless you want to die horribly in a fire. Now, purchasing demolitions, that's a different story.
Purchasing bombs.
You have some options as far as fixers go. I'm going to relay this to you as best as I can. You can coordinate with Dark Skies fixers, so that playing field for you is still available. Your time is a lot less free than it used to be, so that is because we're tracking every second of it in this game. So you cannot do jobs for them, but if there's a fixer you would like to reach out to in Dark Skies specifically to try and get explosives, Hatter, then you could do that if you wanted to. But there are some that are better at it than others. Hatter's the one.
C4.
I need C4. Fuck C4. It's C6, baby. Buy the Flatfire.
He's 6, baby.
Hell yeah. That's a real thing.
I know.
Because my plan would be the last resort is fucking destroy the highway.
Yeah.
Your plan is the last resort.
The last resort. Oh, they're getting towards the bridge. Blows the bridge. Drops the bridge on the convoy.
I'll be honest.
Doctor?
I'm glad you're not the one that...
He said any means necessary.
I'm pretty sure there are no bridges on the primary route that they would take. Because they would
It's
literally...
pretty solid desert road.
Yeah, they are literally going to be moving
There's an
into...
overpass right there.
No, they're going to be moving into Santo Domingo. Like, literally, this is the route. Ready? So here, I'll draw it. Hold on.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
It's
I can
pretty
do it.
solid from what
They're not
I
gonna
see.
pass this cluster fucking overpasses, right?
I think they're
No.
driving under it.
So here is the way I believe that the route, like, if you were smart, this would be the way that it goes. It would be... yeah.
I've seen a lot of overpasses, John.
No, I got it. I got it in 2. Literally, you drive to Mega Building 7, and you turn right. That's it.
Right under 3 overpasses.
Yeah, you're going under them. You're not going on top of them.
I'm talking. I'll blow them up and drop them on the fucking
Oh,
road.
you... Ah, okay. Well, luckily you're not in charge.
I'm not in charge. I'm not trained in demolition, so I'd probably fuck it up, but still.
Dream big. Shoot for the skies. Okay.
Kill an assload of civilians.
I said this last resort. He said any means necessary. Sorry, civilians, you're gonna have to take traffic.
Redtail, obviously not terribly great plans, but reaching out to Hatter for demo. Okay, so we'll discuss that in DM and off to the side, and we'll coordinate with Chandler on that. Slideshow, is there anything in particular that you're engaging in that you would have that you're doing during prep besides escaping this woman's house?
So aside from escaping this woman's house, I don't think there's much prep that I can do as
Yeah.
slideshow unless I can. Because Papillo gave us like all the information on the job that he can give us, and then I don't think slideshow knows of anyone else that's involved, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like mostly he's just waiting for the call and doing like, I guess like something small for now, like just to get a BD out there for his crew, or not for his crew, but for his fans.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, then you're just kind of doing gig work until somebody calls you.
Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah.
So then, Leo, you get the call or the communication, however it was done, from Kincaid, and you make your way over to the Vice offices. You're allowed to enter in, no problem. And when he leads you over to the desk, by this point, Jason Waterman has taken a break and is out to lunch.
So where do you need me? I'm like looking around at the desk.
Do you think you could dupe this computer setup to where you can make a search without linking it to my terminal?
Yeah, I could do that.
You set up the cyber deck. You can hard connect to his computer, and once you're in his computer, you can basically utilize the functions on his computer from your cyber deck. And if you do it with oh god, what's the name of it? There's a program that you have, and I know you have, and you should be saying the name of it.
Like Worm?
Or maybe it's a function, cloak, I think it's called. You're basically hiding that you're on.
Oh, yeah, that's just an ability to do.
Yeah, you can cloak and basically disguise that you're not there.
Yes, that's the one, cloak.
We're looking for SIN files, special investigations, Adrian Ella arrest records, prisoner transfer records, prisoner transfer scheduling. Anything you can find down that path.
Alright, I will begin looking for those. What would you like from me, John? Straight interface?
So for the initial cloaking, yes. Please and thank you.
30.
13 is what you got. You can spend luck after because you have a rocker in your team now.
It's true.
13's pretty high.
13 is pretty high. Do you want to... Again, we're talking about NCPD security here, though.
I would like to give 2 luck. Can I help?
You can only
do that?
You can only chip in 1 maximum
bummer.
for anybody. But yeah, you can chip in 1.
I'm going to chip in 1.
I'll use 1 as well to bump it to 15. Cool.
Great. So the DV was 13, so had you stuck it out, you would have failed. You did beat it by 2, so great. And also, a new methodology that we'll be utilizing is some DVs will be granted before the roll, which I will say. Some DVs, which are harder to decipher, will be given after the roll, as we just did. There's no way you would have known how hard or not hard it was.
Joke's on you, that's not how cloak works. That number is the DV I set, sir.
Oh.
For you to beat.
Let me read cloak.
Oh ho ho!
You're right. So then I'm setting that my guy has a... you needed to roll a 14, so 14 was what they rolled. 14 was the baseline. Okay? You want to fight? You want to fight about it? You'd win. I would lose that fight. But, so, now that you're cloaked, and you have your kind of setup established, you can enter in and kind of access the files. This is library search. Because you're effectively on a data term.
21.
21's very good. So, information. I'm going to put it to you as questions, and I'm going to answer the questions that you have. And basically, Kincaid, he's on his cyber deck, but as he's like fucking around with his keys, it's moving your computer, keyboard, and mouse. Like, they're not like physically moving, but you know what I mean. Like, they're operationally working. And he's bringing up stuff, and he's basically looking at you like, you know, you can see the screens moving. You know how the programs work because it's your NCPD stuff. What questions do you have? What do you want to know?
We're looking through files for arrest record of Adrian Ella.
So Adrian Ella's arrest record appears to be locked out, and what it tells you is the initial reason for incarceration appears to be deliberate terrorism against the city and what's it called? Not sedition. That's the word I'm looking for.
Not a good look. Is this dated in any way?
Yeah, so he was apparently busted on February 6th.
February 6th for sedition and, what was it, like terrorism?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically data terrorism.
That's a mean rap sheet.
Cyber terrorism is a good word.
Cyber terrorism.
Cyberpunk.
Pretty cool. That's a pretty cool crime.
Double hacked.
Prisoner transfer schedule.
Oh,
SoCal.
You would get the information up. It would be the 21st of February, not the 25th of February. He's scheduled to leave at 6 a.m. on the 21st. He is set to arrive on the 25th.
Arrive to the prison in SoCal on the 25th. Okay.
Yeah.
6 a.m. on the 21st, he is leaving that facility.
Correct.
Okay.
And he is leaving in a Behemoth, Militech Behemoth armored personnel carrier vehicle used for prisoner transfer. According to the route log, it seems that the Behemoth will be handed over to Border Patrol and then will be taken by them to that location.
Okay, so there will be a full caravan, both to guard the Behemoth and to
No, just the vehicle.
rally back the other. What?
Just the vehicle. There is no.
What the hell's happening to the driver of the vehicle?
There's no convoy.
If they're given the whole vehicle.
Yeah, so they're taking. The driver is going to get out of the vehicle and he is going to leave. Like, there are going to be 2 max tac guys in the back with the prisoner, and 1 driver in the front, and 1 shotgunner, and that's it. There's no convoy. There's no nothing. Just that truck is driving down to down to the border. Everybody's getting out. The truck is being taken by Border Patrol and USA effectively, and being taken south.
Okay.
Or max tech guards.
Logistically, it just bothers me that, like, okay, boys, get out. You're here in the desert until you get picked up.
So a quick note on Border Patrol and like that office is there. That entire area is just a massive like NCPD / NUSA / what is known as Border Patrol entity. They have plenty of cars to loan out and all that kind of shit. Like, there's genuinely no problem.
Still seems like a bad rat. Okay. So if we were to intercept said Behemoth, we wouldn't want to do it too close to either their beginning or end point, because that's their best avenue to get back up, regardless of them not having a caravan with the Behemoth. Are there any other prisoners slated for that transfer, or is it strictly Adrianella?
There are 2 other prisoners that will be in the vehicle with Adrian Ella. The 2 other prisoners are an individual listed as Jason Luke, And if you pull up his file, you would see that his handle is Spotlight.
Doesn't ring any bells.
You can go ahead and roll a d10, Leo and Kincaid. And if you get under a 4... So Leo, you would know Spotlight is a online influencer, and Kincaid, you would also know he's an online influencer. Basically, what Slideshow does, goes around shooting people while BDing it and recording it and post it online. Spotlight also does, and we have seen Spotlight is very old, but he still has like a very unique look to him.
Okay.
I remember him.
He can stay in the behemoth.
I agree.
More than fair. And then
And lucky prisoner number 3.
lucky prisoner number 3 is... Sorry, gotta check my notes here. Individual that goes by the name... Oh, there it is. Kenziro. Kenziro. And no other names are listed. No handles, nothing to that effect.
And is Leo able to pull files on these two without it jeopardizing the privacy?
According to the notes, Spotlight is prisoner transfer. Once he arrives in Los Angeles, he will be taken by Netwatch. That's for Spotlight. Kenzuro is being detained and taken to LA. He will then be given over to the custody of a corporation known as Tyrell.
Tyrell.
Can you spell that?
Tyrell.
Thank you.
Do we know what Kenziro and I already
Sure.
forget Luke something?
Spotlight's
Spotlight. What were they arrested for?
Spotlight was detained for again similar charges to Adrian. It appears that it was cyber terrorism, but the sedition charge isn't present. And then Kenzuro, escape manufacturer.
Escape manufacturer?
Escape of manufacturer. Escape from manufacturer. It appears
Is
that
he a manufactured person?
according to the information, he's a full body conversion.
I see. I missed that point. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't relay it. I just
Oh,
did
okay.
now, so you didn't miss it. I just didn't say it.
So he's like a replicated man.
Well, no, he is a person inside of a
New body.
cyborg.
He's more
Okay.
similar to Atom Smasher.
Correct. That's a fair assessment if you're familiar with Smasher.
Okay.
He's like our boy Isaac.
Ooh. If you watched Doctor Who.
Probably not. Have you seen RoboCop?
Yeah, I've seen RoboCop.
You remember RoboCop 2?
Vaguely.
The bad guy in RoboCop 2 is a full body conversion.
Okay.
They took his brain pod and they shoved it inside a robot.
And big robot.
Well, his isn't a big. Kenziro's is not a big robot. Kenziro's is just a Raven micro cybernetics Gemini. So he looks like a normal Japanese man, but it's kind of this. I'll post a picture of the Gemini.
The Gemini model is a normal Japanese man.
Well, the Gemini model is not always a normal Japanese
I just like
man.
that. That's the idea. That's what we were really going for with the Gemini.
We want everybody to have who has the money to do it, the opportunity to become a regular Japanese man.
I want him to be like a Japanese salary man.
So many people who watch anime dream about this, and we just want to make sure they have the opportunity.
I'm looking for a nobody on a train. That's the kind of guy I want to be.
Is
Okay.
the behemoth parked at the prison?
Yeah, so they
Is
have
that where it's going to look up?
they have behemoths that they have on site for prisoner transfers, such as this. They also transfer people like to the Militech. There's a Militech prisoner location. What's it called? Detention center. That's the word I wanted. That sometimes they are either transferred from the detention center to the prison, or transferred from the prison to the detention center. There are some locations out east as well, and I think there's one location north, like on the way up to San Francisco, that people are sometimes transported to. Behemoths are typically not utilized for city travel because they're massive APCs. As we've learned in Shining Star, you have to have a license to move the vehicle through the city. You're pretty certain, by the way, on this one, there's no way you're going to be able
Oh
to...
no, I doubted it. They're driving through the desert first of all, and it's coming from police station to the border. There's no way they don't have that shit locked down.
Right. Because again, with the Arasaka instance, Arasaka had to vie for the license with NCPD. NCPD,
right.
It's in-house, so...
Would there be any information on a typical outfit for a prisoner transfer behemoth? What kind of guards they would utilize?
So for this one, it seems like they've got the outline of it. It's going to be 2 MaxTac operators, which are basically cyber psychos that work for NCPD.
Better steered, better.
Yes, very much so. A driver and a door gunner. The door gunner, or shotgunner as they're sometimes called, is outfitted with a Tsunami Arms Helix Alpha. Or Helix, what were they called? The one I made up. The one that's like the ones from olden times. One second.
There's a lot of buzzwords in there.
He's
got a big fucking gun.
It is a chain gun that shoots shotgun rounds.
How long do we have till this?
The 21st.
7 days.
Tsunami Arms
yeah,
Helix
6 a.m. on the 21st.
EA.
I know what
is
I
when
want.
the transfer begins.
What do you want?
I'm wanting to, since you said cyber psychos, you said this big honkin' machine, I want to somehow find a way to lower down my EMP knives and make to where I can put a bunch of them to put stuff out, and if I can do it into a pistol shot.
You're trying to set up a better method.
There's a microwaver.
I have a microwaver. I just didn't know that would work. I don't think I can shoot it. Is my problem.
It's a handgun. Microwavers are handguns.
It's a handgun. It follows your pistol skill. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It has 8 shots. Successful shot can disable their cyberware if they beat.
Okay.
If they beat the DV for
So
drug use or drug?
Resist drugs.
Resist torture drugs. That's the one.
I think that's right. But real quick note on MaxTac. I just want to make sure we are very, very clear. MaxTac are, I say cyber psychos, but what I mean to say is MaxTac, or Maximum Force Tactical Division, is a specialized subgroup of the NCPD known as C-SWAT, or Cyber Psycho SWAT Team, that comes in and deals with dangerous cyber psychos. A guy starts going on a killing spree, an AV appears, drops down its logos, and a squad of 4 drop out, or more, or less, and fuck up the cyber psycho. We
didn't get to see him in action because we didn't end up calling backup.
Right.
Which is a shame.
Well, that was just regular SWAT that you had online. This is C-SWAT. These people are insane, and they are kitted out with military grade shit. They have military grade net architectures and quick hacks. They are absolutely loaded to bear, ready to fucking go. Like the best gear you can imagine, they have it. They are hard ass. They are hard asses, and they're usually.
I don't think military grade means as good as you think it means.
Not really.
I get what you mean to say.
No, I understand, but again, when it comes to like cyberware, it is very much what I think it means. When I say,
Okay.
yeah, they
Top of the line.
yes, because military grade means corporate, not government. It's very different in real life than in fake life. But
Do you want me to look up G while I'm here? Kincaid.
Risky. Yeah, pull what information you can. I'd rather have a word with LF. We can get him out of that truck.
Right, look into G as well.
The second you start to open the file, it seems like something starts to go wrong very quickly. What would you like to do in response to the very noted change in your connection via cyberdeck to the terminal you're on?
Do I notice this, or is it strictly Daniel?
This is definitely just Daniel.
Okay.
I'll just disconnect.
Okay. Are you hard disconnecting by pulling the plug from the terminal? Are you pulling the plug out of the terminal from the wall and just shutting off everything? How are you hard disconnecting?
Disconnect my cyberdeck from the terminal.
Okay. Which means that the functions that were currently active are no longer active. You would notice that it does look like whatever was happening isn't happening on Kincaid's terminal. But for you, Kincaid, everything's going normal. You're like, okay, yeah, go ahead. And then immediate, like, just pull the plug. Like, Leo, like, there's a look in his eyes that kind of eyes widen and yank.
Yeah, I was afraid that might happen. What'd you learn?
Nothing.
Not
Other than
Who the
the files
fuck is this
related
guy?
to G or God are protected very heavily.
Then, if you notice, for a split second, a sinister look appears in my eye, and then it just goes away.
Don't love that. Say, what do you know about these puppet drives or whatever this guy's using?
Dolls?
Dolls.
Usually
Is there like an upper range on these things? Is this guy hiding in a basement, 2 streets over, or is this guy at fucking Mars?
I'm honestly not sure. I've been trying to figure that out too. I don't know how he's able to control so many.
Did seem a little extravagant. Well,
It's unheard of for me.
good work, kid. Good unplug.
All right, with time being where it's at, I want to make sure that we just kind of put to measure some thoughts as to what we're going to do next week, so we can kind of make sure everyone kind of gets ingratiated in the crew, and we have some kind of lines of work for everybody. So at the start of next session, it's the 15th. I keep saying 20. It's the 15th. I think like a lunch meeting to kind of gather the group and then kind of work out what would be kind of points of order, what we want to do, what we're trying to factor in. I will be sending over Adrian Ella's data file once I compile it in a really cool handout. It wasn't ready for you guys yet. It's closed, but I want it perfect. But I'll have that out for you before next session, and we'll show it at the beginning of next, so that you have every piece of information regarding Adrian Ella that you can muster. And then also think about what possibilities, what options you can kind of come up with as to what you're going to do in preparation for this job, and also like what you can kind of kit-wise get. Keep in mind the weapons sheet is currently like it's pretty close to finished. It's still got quite a few missing spots in the bottom there, but I'm definitely working at it. Cash-wise, you've got a little bit of cheddar on your side, so utilize that, pull it together for specifically key items. Blowing up a highway is not impossible. I know it was said as a joke, but again, there is nothing here in this heist situation that I'm limiting you to. You can do whatever you want to make this happen. Okay? And I think that's where we'll end the session for tonight. Thanks for watching those that did, and we'll see you next Sunday as we continue trying to save Adrian again. Have a good one.
Adrian.